jungle was alive with the sounds of war. The smell of gunpowder and wet earth mixed in the heavy air, and the rhythmic thud of helicopter blades faded into the distance as the extraction team lifted off. On the ground, chaos reigned, and in the middle of it stood Petty Officer Second Class Elena Torres, a Navy medic who had never expected to hold a sniper rifle in her hands that day. The SEAL team she was attached to had been ambushed during a reconnaissance mission deep in enemy territory. Their sniper, Chief Garrison, had taken a round to the shoulder and was bleeding out fast. The team was pinned down behind a crumbled stone wall, trapped by enemy fire from a ridge 200 meters away. Elena's job was to save lives, but at that moment, she was about to take one. "Doc, I need pressure on this wound," Lieutenant Hayes shouted, dragging Garrison toward her. Bullets snapped overhead like angry hornets. Elena dropped beside the chief, her hands moving on instinct. Gauze, pressure, seal, bandage. Her voice was calm, steady, though her heart hammered in her chest. "You're gonna be fine, Chief," she said, locking eyes with him. But Garrison's gaze was distant, his breathing ragged. He grimaced and nodded toward the sniper rifle lying a few feet away in the mud. "Ridge. Window. Second floor," he gasped. "Take it." Elena froze. "What?" "Take the shot, Torres." The SEALs exchanged glances. She wasn't trained as a sniper, not officially. She was the team medic, the one who patched up the shooters, not the one pulling the trigger. But there was no one else. Their spotter was down, and the enemy was closing in. "Doc, you ever shoot that thing?" Hayes barked. Elena's voice was low, but certain. "I qualified at the range last month, and I was top of my class in marksmanship." Hayes hesitated only a second before nodding. "Then it's your rifle now. Do it." She swallowed hard, wiped her bloody hands on her pants, and reached for the long, heavy barrel. The M82 felt alien in her grip, cold, deadly, precise. She crawled up beside the wall, the world around her narrowing to the scope and the sound of her breathing. Through the glass, she saw them 2 hostiles, maybe 3, moving between the trees. Flashes of light betraying their position. She adjusted for wind, distance, elevation. Every second she waited, her brothers in arms were dying. A calm settled over her, that strange stillness that only comes before a storm. "Wind from the east," she murmured. 200 meters. 1, 2. She squeezed the trigger. The shot cracked like thunder, echoing through the jungle. One target dropped. Another darted into cover. Hayes looked at her, eyes wide. "Elena?" That was before he could finish. She adjusted again, exhaled, and fired a second time. The second man fell. "Sniper neutralized," she whispered. Silence. For a heartbeat. The only sound was the jungle breeze brushing through the trees. The ambush had ended as quickly as it began. "Holy hell," muttered one of the SEALs. Doc just cleared the ridge. But Elena wasn't celebrating. She turned back to Chief Garrison, rechecking his pulse. "We're not out of this yet. Let's move." With covering fire from the rest of the team, they hauled Garrison through the trees toward their extraction point. Elena kept one hand on his foreline and the other on her sidearm, her instincts shifting seamlessly between healer and warrior. When the rescue chopper finally came back, the crew chief reached down, shouting over the rotors, "Who's your sniper?" That was some fine shooting. Elena didn't answer. She just climbed aboard, her face streaked with dirt and sweat, her medic's kit hanging open beside the sniper rifle. Back at base. After Garrison was stabilized, the team gathered in the dim glow of the barracks. Nobody said much at first. The adrenaline had worn off, replaced by that heavy silence that follows survival. Then Chief Garrison, his arm in a sling, limped in and dropped beside her on the bench. "You took my shot," he said, a faint grin tugging at the corner of his mouth. Elena lowered her eyes. "I did what I had to do," he chuckled, wincing slightly. "You didn't just do it, you nailed it. Clean, controlled, perfect wind correction. Hell, I've missed easier shots." The others laughed softly, breaking the tension. From that day forward, the story spread. The day a medic became a sniper. They called her Angel Eye after that. A medic who could heal or kill with the same steady hands. Months later, on another deployment, a younger SEAL recruit asked her if the story was true. She'd really taken out 3 insurgents while treating a wounded man. Elena smiled faintly. 2, she corrected. The third one ran, but you could have taken him, right? She looked down at her hands, hands that had saved dozens of lives, and ended to that day. Maybe, she said quietly, but my job isn't to take lives. It's to protect them. Sometimes that just means picking up a different tool. The recruit nodded, unsure how to respond, as night fell over the outpost. Elena stood by the fence, watching the horizon fade into darkness. The world was quiet again for now. In the distance, she could still hear the echo of that day in the jungle, the voice of Garrison calling out, the sharp crack of the rifle. The silence that followed. The SEALs would never forget that moment, the instant when their medic transformed. Not just into a sniper, but into something more. Because on that day, Elena Torres reminded them what true courage looked like. Not the strength to fight, but the strength to adapt, to protect, and to stand tall when everything fell apart. And in the years that followed, whenever new recruits asked about the woman who became a legend in one heartbeat, the veterans would simply smile and say, "She was our medic." But when the moment came, she was our sniper too.